Hi, I'm Ems, aka On Dark and Wings. This is going to be a fairly quick video detailing the process of me creating and painting that diorama. This entire diorama was 3D printed by myself. The industrial wall backdrop was done in PLA Plus on an FDM printer. The wall cyborg was printed on a resin printer. This is the full-scale version of the cyborg, and I'll put the link in the description as I'm licensed to sell these. The full-size version is pretty chunky, as you can see, compared to the Space Marine, but I scaled it down and made a smaller version for the purposes of this diorama. First of all, we're starting off with the industrial wall, so I primed it in black and then doing a mix of grey and silver. By mixing metallics with a matching acrylic colour gets a better coverage, and I'm just adding an intense silver and a copper. Next up, I'm going to be adding some washes, so a sepia tone to the copper and a non-oil for the metallic silver parts. Next is my favourite part, the weathering. I'm using some pre-bought weathering materials this time. I know I normally make my own, but these have been great. The environmental wash is similar to like a typhus corrosion. This piece was definitely HR Giger inspired and very grimdark, like John Blanche in that early kind of 40k, 90s, early 2000s sort of artwork. Moving on to the cyborg now, so I'm going to be doing a similar process to the industrial piece, so getting those silvers down for the metallic parts, and then I'm going to be washing a purple over the top for the skin. So I'm going to be going a bit more detailed in with how I'm going to be painting the flesh. So I'm starting off with a rose colour, and I'm glazing this over the top of the purple so we can still have the purple showing through. And then I'm just going to add some Flesh Terror red to make it look like there's some guts falling out. After a few thin coats of the rose colour, I'm going to go in with some highlights now once that's dried. So I'm doing a mix of some colours to create like a pale flesh tone. So I'm using a blue, a much lighter skin tone, and a little bit of that rose colour as well. Here I'm doing a process which is called sketching. So I'm going in with a thicker paint on certain areas, and then what I'm doing is getting some water on my brush and blending them outwards. Once the highlights are dried, I'm going to go back in with some more shadows. So I'm getting the purple and I'm glazing it and just really building up the volume, making it look more 3D. I'm just glazing some of that pink back over the top as well, just to make it a bit more uniformed and a little bit more human flesh looking. Lastly, I'm just glazing some Gilliman's flesh over the top, so I just wanted to make it look like there's kind of blood pooling under the skin like you would have with a bruised or dead body. I washed in some very dark grey into the flesh wound areas as well. And lastly, I'm just adding some water texture just to kind of give that extra gory effect to where the guts are. I just tied it together a little bit more and added some weathering paints here and there, and I gave it red eyes just to make it a little bit creepier. Thank you for watching as always. Please like, subscribe and share this if you can.